sweeping zoning change proposals on their way in Montgomery County, Maryland. If you're interested in hearing more about some of these radical changes, stay tuned. So, in a historic move to address Montgomery County's housing crisis, the Montgomery County Planning Board, part of the Maryland National Parks and Planning's Commission, voted unanimously on June 13th to approve recommendations developed by the Montgomery County Planning Division. These proposed zoning changes give property owners the right to provide a wider variety of housing types in Montgomery County that for decades have only allowed single-family dwellings. The Montgomery County Council will review this proposal and decide whether to proceed with new legislation that would implement these recommendations. The Planning Board's vote transmits Montgomery County Planning's Attainable Housing Strategy report to the County Council to consider a set of zoning modifications and other policy changes that would still allow for single-family detached homes, but would also permit duplexes, triplexes, townhomes, and small apartment buildings in more residential areas of the county. The zoning changes are an effort to help current and future Montgomery County residents find housing that fits their needs and enable more diverse, better integrated, and economically sustainable neighborhoods. Planning Board Chair Artie Harris said, "The time has come for Montgomery County to break free from outdated zoning that has constrained the housing supply, led to skyrocketing real estate prices, and has forced more of the county's middle-income population to search elsewhere for housing. The county has little open land left to build on, and almost half of the county's housing stock is composed of detached housing. People of all ages and income levels need more choice to bridge the gap between high-rise apartment buildings and single-family detached houses. We can no longer afford to devote so much land to so few people." Attainable Housing Strategies recommends zoning modifications that would allow for housing types that include missing middle housing. Missing middle housing refers to a range of buildings that are compatible in scale, form, and construction with single-family homes, but offer multiple housing units and a variety of apartments or flats that are at least 3 stories. The recommendations include a requirement for small-scale attainable housing such as duplexes, triplexes, and quadruplexes to conform with a pattern book. The pattern book will provide clear and objective form-based standards and help facilitate the construction of duplexes, triplexes, and quadruplexes following the same setbacks, lot coverage, and height restrictions as a single-family detached home. Small-scale attainable housing is what would be found in single-family neighborhoods. It refers to multi-unit buildings such as duplexes, triplexes, and quadruplexes that maintain the general size of a single-family home. Medium-scale attainable housing. Medium-scale recommendations focus on housing along growth corridors in the county and include 3 to 4 story stacked flats, small apartment buildings, and townhouses. The Planning Board recommends creating the attainable housing optional method of development that limits the size of these housing types to promote a more attainable price than what existing new developments generally provide. Now let's talk about large-scale attainable homes. Large-scale attainable housing includes incorporating mixed use, live, work, and apartment buildings that are 4 or more stories in height along growth corridors in the county through the master plan process or the creation of a new zone. The Attainable Housing Strategies Initiative, launched at the direction of Montgomery County Council on March 4, 2021, to consider zoning reforms that would allow greater opportunities for missing middle housing in Montgomery County. The Montgomery County planning staff reviewed zoning and planning policies and engaged the community to prepare a comprehensive strategy on how the county can enable and encourage the construction or renovation of more diverse housing types beyond the typical single-family detached home. The initiative is one part of an ongoing multi-year effort by Montgomery Planning, the Planning Board, and the county to develop long-term strategies to address the housing shortage and implement Thrive Montgomery 2050, which states that safe, affordable, and attainable housing is a basic human right and prioritizes expansion and diversification of our housing stock as an essential step toward reducing racial and socioeconomic inequality. Montgomery Planning Director Jason Sartori said, "The need to relax single-family zoning is an equity issue. Montgomery County supports strong, inclusive communities, and its zoning laws need to align with its commitment to fostering the creation of communities where not just the fortunate can own a home and build wealth. These recommendations not only outline different housing types to add to our inventory stock, but create options and opportunities for households of various incomes to attain housing that is suitable for their needs. So I'm kind of curious to get your thoughts about some of these changes that could be coming in the future. Now, once again, it still needs to pass through the county council and everything, so this still could be a ways away, and I definitely will get back to you with additional information as I know more. There's no question Montgomery County has a housing crisis. Home values are very expensive, and middle-income people have been getting squeezed out of Montgomery County. What we're starting to see is more people moving to either Frederick County or Carroll County or Prince George's County in order to be able to find more suitable housing, yet it's further away from oftentimes work opportunities. So there's also the other side of the story. Let's say you've purchased a home in a single-family community, nice tree-lined, you've got nice neighbors next to you, and the person across the street, or maybe your next door neighbor, decides that they want to sell to a developer and have a quadruplex built right next door or right across the street from your house. Obviously, that's going to disrupt your street, potentially the neighborhood some, just by the fact of the higher density, more people, more cars, and the things that go along with that. What would you think about that? I'm interested in hearing both sides of this story. What are your thoughts on this? Are you pro changing the zoning laws to allow more affordable housing in some of the single-family communities, or are you against it? And of course, tell me why. And as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, place a comment, and subscribe to my channel. And oh yeah, share this video as well. If you're thinking about making a move to Montgomery County, Maryland, feel free to hit me up. The best way to get me is by text at 240-793-7495. See you next week.